You know, my wife says I don't have good fashion sense, but then she'll ask me if what she has on looks good. All right, guys, before we get started with today's video, I got to give two shout outs that I've been meaning to do for a long time, so let's knock them out real quick. I want to give a shout out to Andy's Doghouse on YouTube. He sent me a sticker of his YouTube channel. He sends me a message on the back. It says, "Hey Dan, here's a sticker from my shop to yours. It's a pleasure being your YouTube friend, Big Dog Andy." So guys, check him out on YouTube. His channel is linked in the description below. He's also got a video where I've sent him my stickers, and he put my sticker up on his wall of fame and on his pillar of pride. You want to check that out in the description below. This sticker is going to go on my little sticker board over here. I've got my sponsors and my YouTube friends on here. I'm created my own little wall of fame, so to speak. And so anyway, yeah, check out Andy's Doghouse on YouTube. He's got a vintage truck and an old car he's working on as well. So yeah, check that out. Thanks again, Andy, for the sticker. Okay, so the next shout out I want to give is to my friend Rick with the YouTube channel Camaro Rick. Check him out. I've got him linked in the description below as well. He sent me something that I thought was absolutely fantastic. I was not expecting this. He just sent it to me out of the blue. Anyway, he sends me this little letter here. It says, "Love your videos and attitude. I wish you the best of luck with your projects. Here are some 3D printed emblems in ABS plastic. You can use strips of 3M double-sided tape to stick them on the ZRS project. Also included the V8 bow tie for added street cred." He says, "Just wanted to send this to you because you and your family seem to be very humble and wholesome. Use them on whatever you want. God bless from our family to yours." And then he gave me some instructions on how to stick it to the car, and also sent me the dimensions as to where the emblems need to be seated on the fenders and on the burger panel on the back. So yeah, thank you, Camaro Rick. That was totally unexpected and incredibly awesome of you to do that. He actually made a video on how to make these emblems. Check out that link in the description as well. And you can see my stuff kind of cameo on his YouTube channel there. I sent him some merch, t-shirts and a sticker and stuff. So yeah, check that out in the video link below. But here are the emblems. Check that out. ZRS. And then there's that bow tie he gave me. So he gave me 3 of these puppies, 2 for the fender and 1 for the rear of the car. These are really cool. He painted them, so got that nice gloss look to them. So I haven't decided yet what I'm going to do with them. If I'm going to put them on the car, or if I'm just going to leave the badging alone, or get vinyl stickers. Again, totally awesome to see my project car logo in 3D like this for emblems for the car. It's just, I was shocked. I just couldn't believe it. My mouth just dropped wide open. My flabber had not been so thoroughly gasted in my life. This is so cool. So anyway, thank you again, Rick, for sending me these and taking the time to make these and sand them and paint them and all that good stuff. And just really appreciate you thinking of me and my project car that one of these days I'm going to finish. This just motivates me more to want to get it done. So anyway, that's all I got for shout outs. Thanks again, guys, for sending me those items. I really appreciate it. Let's get back to the video. All right, guys, so the time has come to fix the silly chin spoiler on the front of this RS Camaro. I really don't like the design of this thing, but what are you going to do? I actually tried repairing this 2 different times. I used a different kind of glue each time. One was, I think, like Gorilla Glue or something, and it didn't last, maybe 2 days, and it came loose. And then I tried some automotive grade super glue stuff. I can't think of the name of it off the top of my head, but I had seen it somewhere online. I thought I'd give that a try, and it held longer than the Gorilla Glue, but it came apart eventually too. And my buddy Rick from Camaro Rick, I mentioned him in the shout outs, it irritated him to look at it just as much as me, but he'd always say, stick a screw in it and fix that thing. So that's what I'm going to try to do. I'm going to try to attempt to fix this thing finally. And just this video is going to be my attempt at doing that. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Okay, removing this should actually be really simple. It's just a bunch of screws, probably 2 dozen, and then these metal brackets. I'm going to have to unscrew all these screws and it should come right off. We are back with the 97 and the front chin spoiler repair. I'm going to preface this with I have no idea what I'm doing, but reading some of the comments and stuff on the videos and Instagram posts I've done, you guys have mentioned using some epoxy or some JB Weld type of stuff. So I'm going to attempt to use this. I mean, if we're going off of what the package says, the stuff is the best stuff on earth. So what I'm doing is like step one, I've already started cleaning the surface. So I'm going to open this up, squirt some stuff out and mix it and start applying it. I'm going to try to get the center post fixed first. And once it's all set, I plan to throw a screw, like drill a hole and then set a screw in there with some more epoxy around the screw so it sets in there nice. So that's the plan. We'll see if it works. All right, so I forgot to hit record, but I just popped it open and squeezed out an amount. The black section came out way more than the white section, so I don't think that it distributed an equal amount, so I don't know how well this is gonna harden up. So I've just been mixing it for just a few minutes here. So we're gonna go apply this here in just a second, see what happens. So I've got a C-clamp. I'm gonna clamp this together as soon as I get this stuff applied. So apparently the stuff is sandable and paintable. So I've got quite a bit left over here, so I'm going to go ahead and apply it to this other post. Not way too much. Stuff supposedly sets up in 15 minutes. Probably should have waited to apply these other two separately. Oh well. Putting it on kind of thick on the top right here. I'm guessing you really don't want to get this on your hands. Just a guess. I'm gonna wait to mix up some more for this one. I should have waited on that, but it's me being impatient. What else is new? Okay, so it's been about 24 hours since I applied this epoxy. I've got this thing upside down, so you're seeing the bottom side of it. Yeah, if you look real close, I mean, it looks about as smooth as a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I mean, it is just not smooth. But to touch it, you know, it still feels a little bit pliable. It doesn't feel tacky like it's wet or anything, but it does feel like it's kind of pliable. So, you know, whatever vibrations, or if I happen to bump something, maybe it won't just immediately crack and fall apart again. This stuff, you know, it's a 97, so it's pretty old. It's pretty brittle. So anyway, my next step is to drill a hole through here, down through the post of that thing, and drive a screw in there with some epoxy around it and set that up real good. So let's give that a try. I'm going to be using just this little brass screw, wood screw. I'm going to drive it in only so far, and then with the cutting wheel, I'll just cut the top of the screw off. And then, I don't know, put some epoxy on top of the screw to cover it. So anyway, I made a mark right here where I'm going to drill. So I got my drill bit ready. So here goes nothing. Now let's see if I can drill this straight. Don't tell me my battery just died. My battery just died. Okay, new battery. Okay, that looked like it went in straight. We'll take it. Okay, I went with a slightly larger drill. I'm gonna drill this out just a little bit bigger. All right, just a slightly bigger hole. I think that'll do better for the screw. Again, this is really old and brittle, so don't want to crack it. All right, good. All right, I'm gonna mix up some epoxy and we'll set this for good. All right, just mixed up a little bit of fresh epoxy here. We'll go ahead and paste this onto the threads. If this doesn't hold, I don't know what to tell you. All right, we'll let that set up. Then I'll get a metal cutting wheel and just cut the top of that screw off and maybe paint it or something. I don't know. That should do it, man. If that doesn't hold, then I don't know what to do. All right, so the dog and I are going to be putting this front spoiler back on the car today. We're going to be dodging raindrops and lightning bolts. So I'm going to go ahead and jack up the front end of the car so I can have some room to work underneath there. And while I got the front end of the car up, I'm going to rotate the front tires. I've got a tire on this side I think is kind of wearing a little bald on the inside. I don't know if I've got a ball joint or something going out, but I'm going to rotate the tires. Car seems to pull just a little bit to the left whenever I'm driving, and I'm just kind of doing this as an experiment to see if I put that tire on this side, will it pull to the right? I don't know, my logic. We'll see what happens. I'm going to be using my new Daytona 3-ton floor jack to get underneath this thing. I bought this specifically so I can get a jack underneath the Camaro, and the Camaro with the ground effects, you can't get a normal jack underneath it. I always had to drive up on top of a block of wood to get myself a little more height to slide that jack under there. Don't have to worry about that anymore because I got that. But I'm going to use it to jack it up, put that block under there, put it down, go over there and jack that side up, put the normal jack on that side, jack that thing up, and get this thing up off the ground, put some jack stands under it. So let's get started. Ain't that a kick in the head? Well, I wasn't kidding when I told you I was going to be dodging raindrops and lightning bolts. Guess I'm going to have to get back to this some other time. Alright, so it's the next day. We've got ourselves a beautiful sunshiny day. We're going to go ahead and pull these wheels off, and then we're going to attach the front chin spoiler again. Again, I'm going to be using this Bauer impact driver. This isn't the impact wrench, it's the impact driver. I bought this really cheap. It was like 25, 26 bucks or something like that. Got a battery, and then bought these adapters so I could use sockets. So should be a pretty versatile tool for me. Couldn't pass it up because of how cheap it was. I've always wanted to get a little impact gun or something, and that was the way to go, I guess. Not good enough to get my wheels off. Bummer. All right, I'm gonna try this again with this little impact. I put a little bit of WD-40 on the lugs just to see if that'll help. The lug nuts can get corrosion and stuff, and they can get kind of stuck to the rim. I think that it's having a problem breaking the lug nut off from the rim, just kind of fused on there. I don't know. But I'll put a little WD-40 on there and we'll see what happens. So a little WD-40 to kind of give it some help. Zip them right off. I was able to pull these two off without any WD-40, put some WD-40 on the remaining three, and they're coming off just fine like the other side. I don't know, just a little lubrication there helped. Otherwise, this little dude was not getting them off. Okay, I'm going to use these jack stands kind of a help to hold this thing up. I'm going to put these little screws back in. I'm going to use, again, my little Bauer drill. So, I've enjoyed this thing so far. It's really come in handy. Alright, so it's tacked up, but I gotta install the rest of this hardware. All right, a little JB Weld Plastic Bonder, screwed, and so far it seems like it's holding pretty good. The stuff is kind of flexible a little bit. I mean, it's hardened, but it feels like it's a little pliable on the spoiler. So if I happen to maybe nudge something, it hopefully won't be the end of the world. Maybe it'll flex a little bit, but not break, or crack or break over time due to vibrations or something. So I don't know, we'll see long term how this stuff holds up, but so far I'm digging it. So I guess what I'll do is I'll drive this thing for a few weeks and give you kind of an update. Going up and down this gravel road, this thing bottoms out a lot. That's how I broke the spoiler in the first place. I hit a pothole, bottomed out, and it broke it. I am much more careful going up and down this road than I initially was when I first bought the car, because this thing ain't no truck, it sits pretty low. So I gotta remember to drive it that way. All right, so I'm gonna cut this right here. We'll check back in a couple weeks and see how this thing's held up after driving this thing a few hundred miles. Okay, so I've driven the car, I don't know, a couple hundred miles, and it seems to be holding up just fine, guys. I did last night manage to slam on my brakes and avoid hitting a really fat raccoon trying to cross the road. That would have been probably the ultimate test of this chin spoiler, but yeah, it looks like it's holding pretty good. It doesn't feel as pliable as it did before, so I guess it's fully cured. But yeah, it's holding real well. It's taken the vibration of my gravel road pretty well. So yeah, I need to repaint this whole front end on this thing. The paint's chipping off. This is a replacement nose, and whoever painted it, I don't think painted it for a long haul. It must have been just a quick paint job. Anyway, holding up, and I'm pleased with it. Well, that's going to do it for today's video. I want to thank you for watching. Be sure to check out the channel for other videos on this car and other projects that I've been working on, plus some fun vlogs, muffler videos, etc., etc. If it warrants your subscription, I would greatly appreciate it. Hit that notification bell so you'll be notified when I post new content. Check out the links in the description and the store below for Detonator merch. Get you some t-shirts and hoodies and be the coolest looking guy in the room. As always, thanks for watching. God bless. Be sure to hit that like switch on your way out. We'll see you next time.